Hi, my name is Dan Schmitt, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. We're in LaPorte, Indiana, and this is the February ice race, and it's also the Midwest Championship. And today we're going to be looking at the final events. We've got the outriggers, we got three-wheelers, we got four-wheelers, we got unstudded, and of course we got the motorcycles. So let's go check out some of the final events from LaPorte, Indiana.
Now we're looking at the big boys with the Harley Davidsons. This is the open class. For those that wonder what happened to them old Sportster motors, this is where they went. All four of these guys are on Harley Davidsons. Jumping out front, this looks like Ernie Stumble from Winnemac, Indiana. He's the service manager of Kirstein's Harley Davidson in North Judson. Right behind him, number 35. That's Randy Kirstein. Listen to these old irons go. Watch out carefully. They got to get past because they do have that outrigger wheel. We watch Randy Kirstein. Ernie Stumble, second. Coming up now, number 52. It's Jim Kirstein. Got another Sportster engine, even though he's got that 883 gas tank. This looks like a real factory Harley Davidson out there. They got a couple studs in the front to help steer, but no studs in the back. They got to tractionize them tires. Again, it's like Ernie Stumble's struggling as Randy Kirstein looks like he's running away with this. He's from Winnemac, Indiana, and he also works at Kirstein Harley Davidson in North Judson. Seems to be the hotbed of big bore side hacks. Turns around, see if anybody's coming close. Here comes Ernie. Here comes Jim Kirstein. Drew Gatewood from Chesterton. Guys raced 3 times and they scored motocross style. Is Jim trying to get around Ernie now. He's got the horsepower to the ground. Neither one of these guys are going to catch Randy Kirstein today. Jim, the owner of Kirstein's Harley Davidson, Yamaha, Kawasaki, trying to catch his service manager. We swing back and watch Randy Kirstein picking up the win on his Sportster 1000 Harley Davidson. Now we're looking at the 201 to 500. Side hacks, still unstudded. Jumping out front, 94, that's Cliff Bean. Looks like he might be on a Yamaha, this looks like. Could be. Second place, look like. So number 3 or 34, Frank Nagy from South Bend. That engine looks like an Osa, but I sort of doubt it. Number 4, it's Mike Haney from South Bend. He's battling with 34. It looks like a Husqvarna maybe. 34, that's Frank Nagy from South Bend. This guy's having a great time. 129, that's Ben Hoots. He's on a Honda. This guy's having a great time on this quarter-mile ice track in LaPorte, Indiana, as we swing over, clearly leading. Number 94, that's Cliff Bean from Mishawaka, Indiana. Now we're going to look at the second heat for the outriggers. Jumping up front, that's Jim Kirstein from North Judson, Indiana, on that beautiful Sportster motor with the 883 gas tank. Harley Davidson, he's a Harley Davidson dealer down there in North Judson, Kirstein Cycle Sales. In fact, I think this whole crew comes from that area. Right behind him, though, an outsider, Drew Gatewood from Chesterton, also on a Harley Davidson, but now trying to move on the outside is Jim's son, Randy from Winnemac. Oh, moving up front now. Drew Gatewood has just moved into the lead. Drew Gatewood from Chesterton. And that pretty white Harley Davidson. Now we got Randy trying to move inside of his dad. There he goes. Randy's now in second. Drew Gatewood from Chesterton is still leading, but Randy's really starting to move out. Jim Kirstein, in the meantime, is trying that outside line, looking for some traction out there in that cushion. Meantime, I don't see Ernie Stumble, the service manager from Kirstein's. But leading, coming through 3 and 4, Drew Gatewood. But Randy Kirstein is moving on the inside. Jim Kirstein's taking that outside line. Randy has just moved into the lead. Jim Kirstein is in 3rd place now. Looks like they're all running either 900 or 1,000 iron cylinder Harley Davidson. Bikes may be getting old, but they sure do sound good. The swing across, going on to pick up the win now, is Randy Kirstein from Winnemac. And Harley Davidson. 2nd place is Drew Gatewood. 3rd place is Jim Kirstein. Now we're looking at the small outriggers, and up front on that Honda 4-stroke. Looks like John Booth from LaPorte, Indiana. 2nd place like Bill Bean. 3rd place on that Can-Am number 29. It's Ben Hoos from LaPorte, Indiana. A couple local boys. They're all using this style where they try to hang off the back as far as possible. No, they're not falling off. Ooh, moving on the inside on that 2-stroke Kawasaki. Bill Bean from Mishawaka, Indiana. Here's at Harlan Wildfung. And catch the number. We swing across the track. Bill Bean on that Kawasaki. But going on to pick up the win was Bill Bean. 2nd place, Ben Hoos. 4th place, Harlan Wildfang from Mill Creek, Indiana. Now we're going to look at the heat for the Tide Hats. Jumping out front on that Harley Davidson. Jumping out front is Jim Kirstein. He's got that 883 gas tank on there. He's really looking good. He's got it dialed. Jim Kirstein's up front. Right behind him, Randy Kirstein trying to catch up. Jim Kirstein definitely looking good up there. Randy Kirstein's right behind him. Drew Gatewood is running 3rd. This is the 3rd race for these Harley Davidsons, these old Sportster motors, and these things really sound great. Picking up the win in this heat race, Jim Kirstein. Randy was 2nd, and Drew was 3rd. Now we're going to look at the 80s. You got 3 80s out here, so they can put on a race. Jumping out front, it's like Adam Higgins, number 9. He's on a Kawasaki. That's that green Kawasaki. Second place, it's like Ben Graves. Ben Graves looks like he's on a Suzuki, and then on a Honda in 3rd place looks like Pat Carroll. These are 80cc motorcycles, or mini bikes they call them, but you look at these motocross bikes, they're kind of big, but they're just tall. They're still 80cc's. Now making the move on the inside. Is he going to do it? Pat Carroll trying to get around Ben Graves. Ben Graves in 2nd. 1st place, and running away with it is Adam Higgins. But we got Pat Carroll moving in. Can he make it? Will he do it? Adam Higgins is clearly leading. Making the pass now is Pat Carroll. Pat Carroll has just moved into 2nd place. 3rd place is Ben Graves. And we're looking at the rookie class or novice class for guys that declare that they are novices and haven't raced before. Jumping out front is number 4. That's Rick Walsh from Union Mills, Indiana. might be on a Yamaha. Second place, number 29 on a Honda, is Matt Welsh, also from Union Mills. I don't know how the rules are. Are they required to only run once or twice to be in this novice class? Was open any side bike. And both these look like 250s, and both these guys look like they're getting around quite smartly. Number 22 is Todd DeVries. In the meantime, riding the Team Chicago Yamaha Torco Oil 4 and 6 is Tom Hendrickson, Dave's brother, and this is his first time ever ice racing. He's been out riding his 883 Harley all summer, on the street that is, so it's his first ice race. He came out and practiced with us one time last year, so he's looking pretty good. It's probably the lightest motorcycle he's ever rode, at least in the last 10 years that I know of. But he's looking pretty good, running 4th place. The battle continues up front between the Walshes. Tom's trying to pick up that 3rd place. It's looking pretty good out there. Now just get on the gas, brother.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Come on.
Stay down on the inside. You might be able to get around this guy. For his first race, he's looking pretty good, but picking up the win was Rick Wells. 2nd place, Matt Wells. 3rd place, Todd DeVries. And 4th place, Tom Hendrickson. And earlier we talked to Dave's brother Tom about racing out here in Indiana.
I'm with Tom Hendrickson from Racine, Wisconsin, and Tom is Dave Hendrickson's brother, and everybody knows Dave from the road racing and the ice racing. So this is your first ice race. Now, did you ever ice race before? You just rode the bike a couple times, right?
Right. Well, 2 years ago, we went out to the lake and tested with you, but I never rode in an actual race. So this will be the first race I've ever been in this year.
Okay, so you're going to be riding my bike, this 400 Yamaha. What do you think of the bike?
It's got a lot of power on the straights. It's got a lot of power compared to the 250 we were running 2 years ago.
Right. So what do you think? What do you think of this racing?
It's great. I mean, everybody should come out. You know, it's a great day. The snow's not that bad. The ice is perfect for racing, and I would encourage everybody to come on out and have a good time.
Yeah, and this really is an easy way to get into racing because you don't need a very expensive motorcycle in order to do it, and you don't even have a motorcycle.
That's right. I don't. If it wasn't for you, Dan, I wouldn't be racing.
Okay, so what do you think? Think you got a chance of winning this thing, or?
In the heat, I took 3rd out of 4 people, and we'll see when the main comes. So I feel a little bit more confident, the more laps I take.
Right. Okay, you're looking good out there, and good luck.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan.
Now the motorcycles open. George Mack, number 43, moving on the outside. 27. But up front, 704 is Kurt Stampin, but he's only riding for fun. He's on a 250. He's looking for some competition because in the 250 class, he just smokes. George Mack, here's your challenge. Just doesn't seem to be up to snuff. Trying to catch that guy in front. Right behind George is Nick Burnell, an old expert flat tracker, someone I used to race with back in the old days at Santa Fe and various half miles throughout Indiana. Kurt Stampin is leading, number 81. Back in as we watch Dave Hendrickson. Dave Hendrickson's running back about in 5th on that 400 Yamaha. Dave's trying to get the drift of it. He just hasn't quite learned how to slap it in the corner as he chases John Schultz. We swing across. Leading and picking up the win, even though it didn't count, was Kurt Stamper. George Mack ended up winning the class. 2nd place was Nick Burnell. Next race we get a chance to look at is open, 4-wheel studded. Jumping out front is Ernie Strankowski from Valparaiso on that Yamaha 350, but right on his case on that probably a 500 Suzuki, because this thing's really hauling, is Joe Jurek from Chesterton. Ernie, the owner of Buck's Yamaha Suzuki, he really has got this twin-cylinder Yamaha Banshee. As we slow it down, let's watch these guys go through the corner here. Hanging off, sliding. Watch Ernie pulling the wheels. He's got some HP there, and he's got that thing working. Third place, like Tim Westbury from Valparaiso. Looks like he's also on a Yamaha. That's what it looks like from here, but I can't be sure. To get a better shot at it. But there's a decent looking number plate. At 34, Alan Hill from Lockport, Illinois, and Ed Irway from DeMont, Indiana. Point Ernie still up front on that Bucks Psycho. And look at the number plates he's got on that thing. You can clearly read from all angles, from all sides, number 88. So you potential quad racers out there, pay attention. This is how your numbers should look. We slow it down again. You have big Suzuki's trying to make the move on the outside, the inside. But then Ernie is not giving them. He's got some real HP, and he's got that suspension really working. He's got that Yamaha dialed, that 350 Yamaha Banshee, as the Suzuki tries to make it on the outside. These guys are really smoking out there. See this last ditch, whoa, gets a little bit too much sideways. Look how much he lost, but now he's back on it. This number 2 guy, Joe Jerk, 1 lap to go. He's going for broke, hanging off, on the gas. You got a 350 twin, 2-cycle with a 500 single right behind it. Now he tries the outside, on the gas, won't let loose. Drifts too wide. Boy, you can call second place there. Now we're going to look at 4-stroke, studded. I'll tell you, these guys might not be the fastest, but they surely haul. Jumping out front from Chesterton, Indiana, Doc Sorbet, number 23. The real battle now is for second place. Let's see if we can catch these numbers. Doc Sorbet is really smoking. George must have inspired him, because this is no mercy. 23 is second place. It's like, oh, maybe that was 29. Hard to say. These guys got lousy looking numbers. So if I call these races wrong, and if they get scored wrong by the scorer, it's their responsibility. These guys with these quads could easily put better numbers. There's a lot of space there. I would definitely get my number. This one at least got a number in the back. Let's see if we can catch it. But it looks like it could be number 29, Matt Walsh from Union Mills. Now we got a battle shaping up for third place. Got Kurt Schwab, Don Lewis, and Mr. Teal. Might be Teal. But picking up the win, Doc Sorbet from Chesterton, second place, Matt Welch from Union Mills, Indiana. Next race, open class. Check that, this might be 30 to 39, but moving through traffic like tomorrow won't happen. Is George Mack, and at 4 and 6. George, hold on. Whoa. Turns around, see if anybody's going to run into him. He keeps the motor running. What happened, George? Let's check this out. Let's slow this thing down. Watch the bike. Puts it in. The back wheel just washes away on him. Turns around, nobody's coming. Keeps the motor running. Pulls in the clutch. Bike is still running. Picks it up, it's still running. He doesn't quite know what happened. I don't think. But if you look real close, look at that back wheel. You got a flat tire. Yeah, that will happen. You get a flat tire. Look how flat this thing is. goes back to join the race. I don't know if he's aware of the flat tire, probably. Yeah, up front is number 82. That's Chris Hathaway as George Mack tries to catch up. Second place is Dave Booney from Valparaiso. George tries to get on track. Going on to pick up the win was Chris Hathaway from Chesterton. Second place, Dave Booney. And a feature event. This is 30 to 39. We're joining it into the first lap. Clearly out front, George Mack Jr. George Mack Jr. from Wooddale, Illinois. He's on that 4 and 6 prepared Rotex. George is present to himself this year. He bought this nice flat tracker, night frame Rotex. Second place though, on a Kawasaki. It's like Dave Booney from Valparaiso. Third place looks like Chris Hathaway from Chesterton. Number 31, that's Carl Higgins from Chesterton, Indiana. Third place, Chris Hathaway on that Yamaha. No flat tire this time. Let's slow it down and let's see how George goes through these corners. But he's not on the gas all the way. But he's got some good style. Gets that foot up on the peg. Gets the weight on the back wheel. But he doesn't have it wide open. He's got no competition. In fact, he was a little disappointed. Clearly, the class of the field, this bike is really working. It's hooking up. Proud. Second place, Dave Looney from Valparaiso. Third place, Chris Hathaway from Chesterton. Fourth place, 31, and that's Carl Higgins from Chesterton. Clearly, George Mack, one of the fastest guys out here. He comes around and gets the checkered flag, and he almost laps the whole field. Super senior, over 40, because without a doubt, this was the fastest race of the day. Jumping out front, Dave Atherton, former national number from Michigan, on his son's practice bike. This is Kevin Atherton's XR 750 Harley. Second place is John Schultz from LaPorte, Indiana. This is the promoter. He's got that 600 Yamaha TT, and he's really getting around. He's really inspired, trying to catch that Harley Davidson. In the meantime, I'm back in fourth place, trying to get around third place on that Honda. It's Ken Greens on that Honda as I move by him on the outside. Now it's up to me to try to catch John Schultz from LaPorte. So we hear that Harley Davidson go by, that XR. We got another Atherton 81X, also from White Pigeon, is number 81. See Ron Atherton trying to move up now. I don't know where all these Athertons fit in, but I do know they got a couple fast kids that are running the national circuit. And you can hear how nice that XR 750 sounds. To watch Ken Beans, we're going to slow it down a little bit here. First Ken goes down. Now Ryan Atherton goes down. Well, they didn't hit each other. I don't know quite what happened. Now moving into fourth place is Don Mullenbrock from Joliet. Going on to pick up the win was Dave Atherton. Feature event, definitely the fastest race of the day. Jumping out front, Dave Atherton on that Harley Davidson, Kevin Atherton's practice bike, former national rider. But right behind him, Nick Brummel from Indiana on that 600 Honda. We got this Harley dialed in. I didn't see him in the heat race, and I switched bikes from the heat race to the final. I'm riding George Mack's 4 and 6 prepared Rotex, and I tell you, this is the best race I've been in a long time. But the camera's on me. I think Nick just made the move past the Harley Davidson. It's Nick Burnell. Just got around Dave Hatherton from White Pigeon. Now it's the Harley's in front of me. There's Nick. I get the inside on this Harley. I'm on the gas and I'm drifting about as wide as I can. I'm not gonna let that Harley Davidson scoop me on the outside. By far, this bike is really hooked. This 4 and 6 prepared Rotex. We got to also remember Don Walbeezer set up these tires. This thing is really working. Nick Burnell, expert rider from Indiana. White flag, 1 lap to go. They get the inside drive. Dan, get on the gas. Bump down the back straightaway. Oh, I should have stayed on the gas for a half a second longer. Going on to pick up the win was Nick Burnell, and I took second.
I always have a great time racing with my friends in Indiana. Music for the show by Engine, Mike Preetz, Intrigue and Travesty, and all this music recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois. Contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube or Rumble with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing or Dan Schmitt TV. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum, Jim Kirstein's Museum in Winnemac, Indiana, just off Indiana 39. It's 4 miles south of North Judson. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles. The group at LaPorte always put on great races, and I always had a great time.